Good day and welcome to a short video showing how to use paper textures in Corel Painter 12. This is simply going to scratch the surface on what I think is one of the finest features of this program and one that I use constantly. I love being able to use texture and paint with it and change it and change textures and just do some of the many things I can do within Painter. So what I have here is I've created a new image and I've given it kind of this middle green fill. This is so you can see what I'm doing easily. I'm going up to the chalks and crayons category, which is right here, and I'm picking the variable chalk brush. This is a great brush. You can see the outline of it here. This is a great brush for using to paint with paper textures. I have loaded a paper texture that is a custom texture I have created. It's spots. It's located down here. And then you can see a preview of what the texture looks like here. Right now everything's kind of default. I'm going to go ahead and pick a little bit darker color to start with and just make a few strokes. So you can see I'm painting now, and what I'm doing is basically painting on the dark spots in the image here while leaving the white area untouched. You can also change the size of the texture. So here we'll go to 150, and so now I'm painting the same texture, but I'm painting it at a larger scale. And I can also go down to a very small scale, say 25%. And in this case then I'm painting with much smaller zoom in here just so you can see it. One more zoom. There you can see kind of this small version of the texture. You can do this on the fly, as you see I've done here. You don't have to do anything, load anything. All you have to do is come up and you can either move the slider or you can type in the numeric value. I'll go back to 100%. Another thing you can do is you can invert this texture. Notice how the preview's changed, and now the dark spots have become white and the white background has become dark. I will select a lighter color so you can see what this does. Now when I paint with it, the places that were white before now fill in with the color I'm using, and the dark spots are untouched. Very nice way to build up kind of multiple textures in an image. You can also increase or decrease the contrast. I'm going to go ahead and clear the canvas, Control A and backspace, and I will show you what playing with the contrast slider does. If I move it down, you can see the contrast becomes very low, and as a result I'm painting in not only the tops of the texture but down into the white areas. If I increase that up high, then I'm painting just the tops. So you can move the contrast up or down, and then in conjunction you can also invert the texture if you want for some more of the same effect. And the last thing is the brightness. Like the scale and the contrast, you can change the brightness around. So if I make it darker, paints the white tops, but then it fills in more. And I can paint lightly so it doesn't fill quite as much, but the more pressure I put on the brush, the greater it will fill in. Or if I go really bright, we'll change here to a lighter color, then it just glances again on the tops. You can get some very nice effects using just a paper texture, the variable chalk brush, and default papers or some that you create yourself. So I encourage you to go out and experiment, have a good time with this, and get familiar with painting with paper textures.